Welcome back to Pokemon Alpha Sapphire Challenge Run. Last time we landed in Dewford Town and did quite a few things here, including getting them addicted to revive dances. This time, we're going to enter Granite Cave, where we can actually get ourselves a new encounter. Oh, wait a minute. We may require Flash in here, I just realized. If Flash still... Okay, that's new. That's very new. The cave wasn't like this in the original. That, I think, was there in the original. That is a Mach Bike slope. I always used to call it Match Bike. So yeah, I'm going to go with nostalgia clause and call it Match Bike. That there is a Match Bike slope, which you need the Match Bike to get up. Oh no. Thankfully, Flash is now a TM and not an HM, so you can freely delete it whenever you want. That is definitely a very good boon. So, time to teach Flash. Let's see who can learn it. Who... Okay, yeah, that's okay. Apparently Harmonica can learn Flash. Whose moveset do I want to ruin? I know it feels weird to use a fainted Pokemon as basically a torch. In fact, it feels very wrong, but, I kind of want to do this. Harden could have its uses. And as terrible as Leech Life is, at least it's healing. May have to get rid of Harden. I am going to need Dustox for Brawly, and I really don't want Flash clogging up its moveset until then. But yes, thankfully Flash does not require any HMs to use in this generation. Wow, this place has definitely changed. Unless... Okay, that's definitely new. Well, this is new. Interesting. Oh, I guess we have to fight Brawly first. I guess you needed his TM for Abra! I did not expect that to be my first encounter in the cave. Okay, this could be very bad, but I can chuck a Great Ball right off the bat. That's really the only thing I can do in this situation. Hoping for the best. Come on, Abra, please get in. Yes! Yes! Okay, honestly, I was seriously hoping for not hoping, but I expected a Zubat or a Makuhita, but an Abra? Never expected to get an Abra as my Granite Cave encounter. That is very promising. Okay, yes, it was male. So, if I'm to use it, it'll be paired up with Whismur, which isn't actually that bad of an idea, seeing as they both resist each other's weaknesses. And it's not weak to Watson either. Interesting. Abra needs to sleep for 18 hours a day. However, it doesn't have the Truant ability. If it doesn't, this Pokemon loses its ability to use telekinetic powers. It can still teleport and annoy the crap out of you though. If it is attacked, Abra escapes using teleport while it is still sleeping. Thankfully, this does not apply to gameplay. Thankfully, because that would be horrible if it could really do that. Now I need to come up with a name for this thing. I really am not sure what's a good musical instrument name for a Psychic type, so I'll be right back. So, we have Igil, who we can't use for Brawly as much as we'd probably want to. But it looks like, yeah, it looks like this cave is kind of a bust for the time being. Yeah, I think in the original you actually had to beat Brawly in order to use Flash. I just want to see what else is in here. So, yeah. I wonder if the encounter rate in caves has been reduced overall. I certainly wouldn't mind. And of course it's a Zubat. I certainly wouldn't mind if it has been reduced, but anyway. Actually, we're almost level 15. I reckon taking on the gym would be not that bad at level 15, actually. But again, considering that all my pairs have at least one Pokemon that is weak to fighting, Brawly might be a bit of an issue. Yeah, you don't succumb to confusion, do you? Oh, nice critical hit, yeah. You show that, Zubat. It's your turn. Level 15. That's probably the level that I want to go into the gym at. Poison Powder. This would be good were it not for the fact that a lot of Brawly's Pokemon have guts. It is a much more reliable method of, well, 75% accuracy. Somewhat more reliable method of poisoning than Poison Sting, so I'll get rid of Poison Sting for it. But again, a lot of Brawly's Pokemon and a lot of the Pokemon in the gym have guts, which means that this is not going to be very useful at all. It's only going to be helping him, really. So, with you at level... Okay, let me... In terms of how much training that I need to do before the gym, I want to get Xylophone to level 15 as well. Clarinet's already 15, as is... but I might want to get her to 16 so that she's equal with Trumpeter. I doubt I'll be using those two in the gym at all, because, yeah. I doubt I'll be using Xylophone in the gym at all. Scissorhand's probably going to hog most of the experience in the gym, really. The issue is Bongo and Harmonica. I kind of feel like grinding them up a little, like returning to an earlier route, and just trying to grind them up just a little bit, you know, before we actually go into the gym and stuff, because I don't like the fact they've fallen behind so much. But, anyway, Xylophone here, there's probably Makuhita's in here, which is a... Oh, exactly, Makuhita. Which is a problem for Xylophone, because they're probably going to start arm thrusting, which is going to do quite a bit of damage to her. Fortunately, Dustox here double resists fighting, which is good, as does Beautifly. So if you get a Wurmple, no matter what it evolves into, it's actually pretty good against Brawly. Of course, if you get a Route, you're better off using that against Brawly. If you get an Abra here and you're able to use it, like you're not restricted by my crazy rules, then by all means, go ahead. See, 1 damage. That was on a critical hit, too. Wait a minute. Now, in Generation 1, if one move of a multi-strike attack crit, every other hit would crit. But this doesn't follow those mechanics. Did that thing just get 3 crits in a row? I know it only did 1 damage, but if it got 3 crits in a row, the chance of that is just completely insane. Goodbye, Makuhita. I was kind of expecting to get one of those as an encounter, honestly, but I'll definitely take Abra. Never even knew Abras could show up here. That's what I like about the first encounter rules. It often surprises you what Pokemon you end up getting. I'm a bit worried that Abra might end up being a bit overpowered to use throughout the game, but, Oh, speaking of Abra, here's one now. If you can take them out with, like, Headbutt or something before they flee, or, even better, if you can flinch them with Not fast enough. Dang it. Of course. Anyway, I'll probably do a little bit more training, and then I'll see you back at the gym for the actual gym battle. So, yeah, I guess I'll see you back in a little while. Okay, just for the record, I'm going to use the Jufa Town heal point now, so this is the only time I can use this Pokemon Center. And I'm not actually taking on the gym just yet. I'm going to go back to try and train my other Pokemon a little bit more. Mainly just, well, Harmonica and Bongo, really. I just feel really bad for having them be so far behind everyone else. So these two are level 16, these two are level 15. That's about fine. I really want to see if I can get these two to be caught up, though. So I'll just train them a little bit. I'm not going to be using them in the gym anyway, so I'll train them a little bit and I'll see you back here. So I kind of happened to stumble on a scene as I was training in Rust Earth Tunnel. But sadly, we do not have Rock Smash. And that's apparently all to the scene. And now you're saying the same thing. I believe that's the girlfriend right there. Can't you see her from over the rocks? Anyway, back to training for me. After what felt like an eternity of grinding, I am now officially on the wrong menu. Here, Harmonica and Bongo are somewhat caught up to the rest of the party. Oh, sweet Arceus, training these two was an absolute nightmare. As you will probably be able to tell once you look at their moves and their PP. Look at that! I used all but one of Harmonica's attacking PP. Bongo, yeah, just look at that. That is how long I took to train them. And how much painful wild Pokemon battles there were. And this is after using the Juford Town heal point as well, so I effectively can't use these two in the next fight, which is annoying considering that I just recently found out that Harmonica's physical defense is really good. It's actually the best of the entire party, and she resists fighting too, so she would normally be a fairly good backup option against the gym, were it not for the fact that her moves absolutely suck at this point. And you might be asking yourselves, why even bother with these two? Well, like I said before, I like having my Pokemon all evenly leveled. I personally feel that it actually takes away from some of the challenge if you don't have an evenly leveled team all around, because that means that the two pairs that are up to speed, basically, have to solo every fight, and then they get really over-leveled and everyone else gets left behind. And, yeah. That and just the very thought of, think about it, now, they're not that great. In fact, they're pretty bad, although Bongo is actually fairly strong with the Silk Scarf and Stab normal moves. But just think about the potential. Slacking and Ninjask. Just think. Ninjask, Baton Passing to Slacking. Just imagine the carnage that could do. Just seriously, like, it would be amazing. Not only that, but Harmonica is part ground, so might be useful against the next gym. So, I really want these two to be good, and that's why I took so much effort, and I meant a lot of effort to train them. But anyway, yeah. Also regarding training, Slack Off was so useful with limitations on Pokemon sensors, to the point where I ran out of PP. I was mostly using kind of Whismurs in Rust Turf Tunnel, although if they start spamming Echoed Voice, they can be really annoying. The good thing about those Whismurs is that they have Astonish, which means there's always a slight chance they'll use a move that has no effect on normal types, so they're good for training normal types, again, unless they start spamming Echoed Voice, which gets stronger every time it's used, so that kind of gets out of hand quite quickly. Harmonica, on the other hand, is very irritating. Remember how I said before I thought she was in a low experience group? Well, technically speaking, she's in the exact opposite. She's in the erratic experience group, which requires the fewest experience to get to level 100 out of any experience group. And people who mostly play competitive and generally train up to higher levels only notice that and go, hey, they level up really fast. What most people forget, though, is that the erratic group levels up painfully slowly early on. It's slow leveling early, fast later, as opposed to the actual, what people call the slowest group, fluctuating, which actually is ridiculously fast early on, but really slow later. So, they're kind of opposites like that. But what it basically means is that a Harmonica grows at a painfully slow rate now, but she'll get very fast in terms of leveling up later on. It's kind of, well, very painful to train something like that up early. But anyway, I'm not going to use those two in the gym. Clarinet and Trumpeter are both level 16, and so I only want to rely on them in, like, absolute emergencies. I have Xylophone and Citurn, who are going to be my two for the gym. Well, Citurn is. Xylophone, going up against fighting types, no thanks. Citurn, though, really should be my main bet. Double resistance to fighting, and both Gust and Confusion. Again, I probably don't want to use Poison Powder, because a lot of things like Machop and I think Makuhita can have Guts, so definitely don't want to trigger Guts there. So, I think, yeah, Citurn's going to be my main bet. Anyway, enough about that. Citurn doesn't have an item, does he? Okay. I'll think about that with the gym. Now, I haven't actually been into the gym yet, so I'm actually not sure what to expect. But anyway, here we go. I know that it was really dark in the original, but this time, it's an actual gym. Yeah, a gym that's actually a gym. Weird. And of course, I have, well, not a normal type, but I have something weak to fighting in all of my 3 pairs, and that's kind of annoying. That's kind of the thing you have to live with when playing a Wedlock type challenge. Yeah. And that's all you're going to say. No comment about... Is that a... I don't even know what's on that poster. Due for Town Pokemon Gym. No trainers winning yet. Oh, I can buy drinks. Okay, just fresh water. Actually, though... Wait, no, I can't buy drinks. I just realized. Healing items... buying healing items is banned. Good thing I realized that. But yeah, if you're playing a normal playthrough, you can maybe buy some drinks here. I'm kind of glad that they only have fresh water, though, because anything higher would be a little overpowered at this point in the game. Fresh water, though, is apparently the most cost-effective healing item in the game. Although, except at higher levels. Like on Pokemon like Blissey, a full restore is actually more cost-effective because they have so much HP, but usually fresh water is. But anyway, looks like we can't avoid this trainer, so... Oh, I love the Battle Girl music. Oh, you're that Battle Girl from the demo! I forgot you were in Brawly's gym. Anyway, I'm actually going to use Trumpeter for this, just to draw a little bit of experience away from Dustox. And of course, expect a lot of Metatites and Makuhitas in here. I don't know if you can find Metatites in the cave, but anyway. And hey, this is the first time we've actually used Trumpeter, so let's go ahead and, yeah, expect to be seeing Detect a lot from this gym. Metatites just love to spam that move. Oh wow, that was a crit. What is it with you and critting Mega Drain? Seriously. Oh wow, that's a lot of experience. Okay. And of course, she goes and cries. Still, Battle Girls look amazing in this generation. That's interesting. See, where this game takes place in terms of the timeline is really bizarre. Like, they make all these callbacks, and that's a conveyor belt, like I thought. I'm guessing this changes the... What?! Oh, I guess it still is dark. Interesting. Interesting. That's really interesting. I can illuminate secret locker rooms, okay. And then progress through them like this. So I guess it's still kind of dark in here. That's actually kind of cool, I like that. I'm actually going to put Citurn at the front because, at least Citurn has a level buffer before they're equal to Brawly. Can't avoid him either. And Black Belt, since I think this is the first one we're fighting them, they reuse their artwork from X and Y. Hey, Black Belt Hideki. That is kind of funny considering that I've seen a certain anime where the name Hideki is kind of spammed constantly in one scene. Anyway, right, Confusion is slightly more powerful. And these guys are level 13, but they only have one Pokemon each, so... I mean, I'm a little over level for the regular trainers, but I'm a little under level from the gym leader, so it's going to balance out eventually. I deliberately kept Citurn at level 15, just because, well, I wanted to have, again, like a buffer before the gym leaders, just so I don't go over, because if Citurn goes over level 16, I'm officially totally screwed. Ooh, that's interesting. Okay, so a couple of steps this way, then up and then around. Mostly just trial and error and feeling your way through. Wow, that's big! Okay then. Does feel a little shorter than the other gym, but it's an interesting concept for a puzzle, I'll give it that. It still evokes the darkness of the original gym, but it's not quite as irritating as it was back then. And this gym's pretty much going to be almost a total solo, mainly because, well, no one else can really do much here. Meditate. Normally that would be kind of worrying, but for some reason, well, not for some reason, it's in their level up move pool, but Metatites kind of rarely use physical moves at this point in the game. A lot of them tend to carry things like Confusion and stuff, which I admit is actually somewhat dangerous to... Okay, yeah, okay, Brawly does not have a Metatite in this game, that's only an Emerald. I was just worried that he might have one with Confusion for Dustox, but no, he doesn't. That is only an Emerald. His Metatite and Emerald also had, like, Reflected Light Screen as well. I think it even had something like Focus Punch or something, which is really bizarre. I mean, bizarrely strong, but... Anyway. Okay, I'm almost leveled up. Makuhita's a pretty bulky Pokemon, though, so... And Marchop is surprisingly bulky by fighting type standards. A lot of fighting types introduced in Gen 1 actually had really good special defense. Well, when the physical special split came around in Gen 2, that is. Most fighting types introduced in later generations, like Conkeldurr, have very bad special defense, so you sort of need to be able to tell the difference. Okay, so... maybe, but you can't really become a gym leader without a name that's a pun on your type, and I don't think yours was. Anyway. So it's right by her. I can go this way, but I doubt this is going to lead me anywhere. Or I can go the other way. Okay, there we go. And my guess is this leads straight to the gym leader. Oh, hey, that doesn't... oh, stupid conveyor belt. Oh, I kind of wish the entire gym would get lit up. In the original versions, the whole gym got lit up after you defeated Brawly, so maybe it does now. And here we go. Here's Brawly, and he's... actually doing workout stuff. But it looks like we can't actually... that's cool up there. Hey, it's got 2 Pokeballs, which actually shows how many Pokemon he has. That's kind of nice. Fitness equipment. Yeah, that's kind of cool. Anyway. Let's see if I'm ready. I am very slowly running out of... okay, I'll show you how many healing items I have. I have 4 potions. I used a couple of them during training. 1 Paralyze Heal, 2 Ethers. I'm kind of saving those. 1 Super Potion, and 1 Revive. Yeah, my resources are being stretched a little bit, but hopefully they should last me a bit. 5 Pecha Berries, only 1 Oran Berry, so I don't think I can afford to have that as a held item. 4 Cherry Berries, and 8 Chesto Berries, considering I don't think I've had to use any yet. So, it's time for a brawl. Dramatic camera pan. I'm Brawly, Juford Town's gym leader. I've been churned in the rough waves of these parts, and I've grown tough using the cave at the outskirts of this town as my training ground, as well as using the equipment in this gym, which for some reason is actually also a real gym. So you want to challenge me? Oh, wow. Let me see what you're made of. Even without wings, I can still fly! Oh wait, I'm not a flying gym leader. Anyway, it's time for Gym Leader Grif I, Brawly. And he's gonna send out Marchop. Okay, don't take this as offense. Like, I admit Jason Grif has actually done quite a good job on a few of the roles he's played. Sonic 06 just was not one of them. And I'm guessing his role as Brawly in the Pokemon anime wasn't one of them. I haven't watched that episode, but apparently Brawly sounded like a pretty cliched surfer dude type person in that, which I admit somewhat makes sense, but still. Now again, I don't want to use confusion here because this thing may have guts. Please don't have like Rock Tomb or something, that would be very bad. Okay, half damage already. Karate Chop, yeah, and that is quad resisted, so wow, that is very nice. Yeah, Dustox is actually very good against Brawly overall, so if you manage to get a Wurmple as your encounter, don't despair, you've actually got a pretty good option for the gym fight, actually. Because Brawly's actually pretty hard if you don't have something that's very good against fighting. If you got a Routes, yeah, you can sweep him fairly easily. If you got a Dustox, you can tank him very easily. Even with a Beautifly, you can tank him pretty easily, although I don't know when Beautifly learns Gust. Normally you'd be stuck with just Absorb. Dustox is probably the better option. And now we have his ace, Makuhita. I'm guessing Brawly wants us to step it up at this point. And I'm still 2-hit KOing. Wow, okay, yeah. Right then. I'm guessing, yeah, Dustox kind of demolishes Brawly. And he's not even using a potion. Guess he has to be on red to do that. Well, that was a complete curb stomp, but again, it's because I had Dustox. Whoa, wow, you made a much bigger splash than I expected. Looks like being a gym leader isn't that easy. Especially when your opponent uses Dustox. Okay, you got me. Take this gym badge. And we get the punch you in the face badge. I love how they look like actual badges this time. Knuckle badge. Character that Griffith didn't voice. The Knuckle badge makes all Pokemon up to level 30, even those you got in trades, obey you without question. You know what? I think you can make full use of this, too. I'm sure this will help your Pokemon bulk up muscle. And so we get TM08 Bulk Up, which is normally a very good move. The problem with it is that very few Pokemon can actually learn this. For the Pokemon that can, though, it's actually pretty amazing. Bulk Up temporarily enhances the Pokemon's muscle power. The move boosts both attack and defense stats of the Pokemon. I can see your talent becoming a giant wave that causes a storm of astonishment with trainers one day. I look forward to the day when I can surf your giant... Wait, that sounds really weird. By the way, have you been to Granite Cave? Oh yeah, in this case, I wasn't sure what the order that you were meant to do the gym leader and the cave in the original games was. I usually went for the cave first and then Brawly, but I guess the remakes want you to fight Brawly first. I think you needed his badge to use Flash in the originals anyway. I can't quite remember, because, yeah, the thing about Brawly and the order you fight him in is that it was actually perfectly possible in the original games. It's located to the north of this town. Yes, I know, I've already been there. It's full of fascinating stuff, like rare stones and wall paintings that weren't in the original game. My friend Steven rushed to the cave after I told him about it. Apparently, I'm friends with him now. We have the real super power of teamwork. Oh wait, Griffith didn't voice Sonic in that game. Anyway. And he says the same thing. Well, at least that hints to us where Steven is. And hey, the gym is all lit up now. That's cool. Just like in the original games. Of course, we can just walk right back. And he says the same line he did in the originals. That's cool. But yeah, I mean, there was only one other place you could go on the island, so it's not like the player would have any trouble finding Steven, really. Now, after the gym has been beaten, I now get a pit stop, which really isn't going to do too much to me, considering that most of my Pokemon are already fully healed. But I'm not allowed to skip a pit stop ever and save it for later. I have to take it immediately after the gym. So, yeah. But now, I have an interesting dilemma. I have the ability to swap out one of my pairs. And I have to make some decisions here. So here we have Airhorn, the female Whismer, who is now, who is currently my only female. Which means that if I make a new pair, she has to be part of it. But in terms of males, she's got... Holding a Twisted Spoon? I got an Abra holding a Twisted Spoon first encounter? Naughty is not a great nature, I'll admit for it, but still, I mean, at least it's not adamant. Abra holding a Twisted Spoon first encounter, that's kind of saying something. I mean, I've got this Tentacool as well, and I would really love to have a Water type on the team to balance out my Grass type Grovyle. However, the upcoming gym happens to be Electric, which is not so good for Water types. I need to think ahead, and I know that a Tentacool would be useful for Flannery coming up, but, well, that's in the far future. However, this Abra, Igil, and Airhorn would work surprisingly well together. Normal type is immune to Ghost, which Abra's weak to. Normal is weak to Fighting, which Abra's resistant to. They could actually make a fairly good team, although they may have problems against Steel types in terms of coverage. I mean, then again, Whismur can learn quite a lot of very good special moves like Flamethrower and stuff. And Abra, the only concern I have is that Abra might be a little bit overpowered at this point in the game. The other concern I have is that Abra's moveset at the moment consists only of Teleport. However, I am, I guess, allowed to use the Experience Share a tiny bit at this point, just to catch up the levels a little bit, especially Airhorns, because that's very, very low. I think that I am going to put Airhorn and Igil into the party as a new pair, but the real question is who to drop for it. And this is kind of sad. As amazing as Citurn was in that last gym, I kind of doubt Dustox is going to be all that useful in the upcoming one. I mean, Dustox does have great special defense, which is good against the next gym, but Dustox is going to lose to Flannery pretty badly, and, well, I might have to bring Dustox back for Norman, that's the thing, so if I drop this pair, you might be seeing them back again, don't despair. The only problem is Xylophone. I really do love Zigzagoons. Like, they are one of my favorite, well, my favorite early game normal type, and one of my favorite 3rd gen Pokemon, actually. I would really love to see Xylophone evolve, that's the thing. But it's just, at the moment I have too many normal types, and while most of you are probably saying, hey, definitely drop Harmonica and Bongo because they've been doing terribly at the moment. The thing is, like I said, one, I want them to give them a chance to get better. Once Bongo evolves, he might be getting pretty useful. And secondly, Harmonica is a ground type, and that could serve me quite well against Watson, provided that I don't evolve her. I guess I'm allowed to cancel the evolution until after I've beaten him. That's not a bad idea. If I can somehow find a team of Dig or something before Watson, then maybe, I guess that could work, but for the time being, also I don't want to drop Trumpeter and Clarinet, just because I don't like dropping my starter. And, Trumpeter does resist electric, so for the next gym he could be a good choice. So, sadly, I think I may drop Citurn and Xylophone here. I'll have to take Xylophone's Oranberry. But, now here's the thing. I'm going to go ahead and, you know what? I'm going to store pairs that I've used previously, for the moment, in the battle box, just so I know where they are. And so that I know that they're still paired, because they'll be right next to each other there. This pair cannot be broken up, ever, basically. So if I want to use one of these two later on in the game, I have to use them both. But now it's time for the new pair to join. Welcome to the team, Airhorn and Igil. I hope you two will be awesome. You might need a little bit of catching up with the experience share, though. Once Igil gets to level 15 and learns Confusion, I think it evolves level 15, he's going to get pretty good. But anyway, that there makes the new pair, and it's on to Watson. After going on to Stephen first. So our next port of call is to visit Stephen and give him the letter. That would be in the Granite Cave, and depending on how long or short that ends up being, I might either end this part here, or, not. It kind of depends. So,